In this video, we're going to be recommending the best entry-level computers for Photoshop. Now, in the 6 years I've been making these recommendations, I don't think I've ever recommended any Apple computers. This year, it's going to be dominated by Apple. We're going to start off with the Apple 2023 Mac Mini. This is a desktop computer which basically gives you a very small device that's very capable. It can run a 4K display. And with this machine, you're getting past the minimum system requirements required for Photoshop. It has 8 gigabytes of unified memory, 256 very fast storage, and you've also got the connections that you want, the Gigabyte Ethernet and also Thunderbolt and HDMI. Now at $499, it is approximately $400 less than the M1 version. So when this is the M2 version, and when the M1 version came out about 3 years ago, it was $899. So you can see that Apple have been really trying to finesse the price of this for the current economic conditions. Now the current price of $499 is as low as you ever find it, and with the M2 chip, this thing runs very fast. The next recommendation is this very slick, very slender Apple 2023 iMac. Now this is one of the first computers to have the M3 chip. And the M3 chip is currently the fastest chip in the world. Now the iMacs were launched at the Scarily Fast event. That was on 31st of October, Halloween of 2023. The specs for this are kind of deceptive. It's an 8-core CPU, 8-core GPU, and it comes with a 24-inch 4.5K iMac display. Now this is a very high quality display, and it adds several $100s to the cost of the, basically you've got the same specs as the Mac Mini, but the Mac Mini currently doesn't come with an M3 chip, and the M3 chip is extremely fast. The current price at $1199, there is a coupon that you can get with Amazon, and with all of these devices, I would strongly recommend getting the Apple Care. You can get Apple Care for iMac here for $169. There's going to be other deals for Apple Care with the other devices we're looking at. That gives you an extended warranty, basically about 3 years. Now the 8-core version for the M3 chip will run at about the same speed as the M2 Pro version. And the graphics, the 8-core graphics, will be about as powerful as the M2 Pro graphics. So it's extremely powerful and very energy efficient. And with the current coupon of $49, you get it essentially for $1,149, which is pretty good value in my view. Now, both of those come with 8 gigabytes of unified memory. That's sufficient for Photoshop. However, some people do want more memory. So for the Apple 2023 Mac Mini M2 Pro version, you do get 16 gigabytes of unified memory. You also get double the storage, more multitasking. So if you're working with Photoshop and Lightroom or Photoshop and Illustrator, it will give you that option. There are more connections here than with the standard entry-level Mac Mini. Here we have the Apple Care for Mac at $99. Again, I recommend that. Currently the prices here are somewhat cheaper than they would be if you went to apple.com. Now, one of the benefits of going with Apple is that the resale price, if you hold on to these devices for a few years and then you sell them onto the used market, they hold most of their actual value. So you don't have that sort of 80% depreciation that you get with a Windows computer. And that's something that can help when you eventually come to upgrade the system. Recommendations for an entry-level iPad. The iPad is the only tablet that can actually run Photoshop. You'll get a free iPad version of Photoshop as soon as you subscribe. So you can run it on this $249 entry-level 9th generation iPad. This one comes with hardware acceleration, and it's the first one in the family to come with hardware acceleration. So I wouldn't go to any one of the older ones. $249. You can also go for an Apple iPad Air at $500. That one has a much better display, and also it's a much faster chip as well. But $249 I think is very reasonable for one of these devices.